Welcome back to the show. We have a great one lined up for you today. Jim Rickards' BRICS Coalition. Oh, we're not going back the other way. Let's find out. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.2 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 0.2%. 56,900 plus for Bitcoin, 3,000 slightly over for Ethereum, 111 billion plus market cap for USD Tether, and 33.8 billion plus market cap for USDC. And XRP is at 43 cents. We're up 2.3 on the 24. We're off by 9.3 on the 7-day. We can't wait for the real USD. Where's it going to sit on this list? And how much longer till we have to see that it's on this list? We should be launching soon, ladies and gentlemen. What are we waiting for, Ripple? Let's do this thing. Super excited. And I know that they're crossing the T's and dotting the I's. They're doing it the right way. I get it. I'm just excited. 40 cents on the bottom, 44 on the top. We'll keep an eye on it. We happen to be at the top of that range for XRP, so I can't be upset about that. But I do know that there are some great things on charts that have been saying, $8, $15, $18, $33, $27. We're hearing all kinds of things regardless of the downward action that we've seen across the board for crypto. We're seeing a lot of positive signals for XRP in the near term. So head on a swivel. We don't know what will happen. This is iTrust Capital, the best crypto IRAs, gold and silver IRAs on the planet, bar none. If you don't believe me, just click the link underneath and check out my sponsor and become a customer yourself like I did. That's how I found out, and that's why I started telling all of you about it. This is an amazing, amazing opportunity to empower yourself and take control of your retirement. Nothing better than buying tax-free crypto. I can assure you of that. And meanwhile, we're going to take a look at some things, whether it's domestically or geopolitical shifts that are taking place with BRICS. But it starts right here and shows all of us the obvious truth. Is unavoidable that the U.S. debt explodes $876 billion in just 6 months. As an ex-CIA director says, America's balance sheet is a national security threat. That's how bad this is. And you know what? This is not, again, if you're hearing it from a podcaster or a YouTuber like myself, you might say to yourself, oh, well, they need views, Okay, I get it. People say those things. But you know what? This is real. This is very real, and so is everything else we're about to see. Just like Algorand and Hedera tested by Sweden's central bank for retail CBDC solutions. Shout out to both of those teams. Then there's this here. At the same time, Bitstamp took a picture of the moon last night and has an XRP logo on it. I said, now at the same time that EU exchanges are delisting USD Tether, and the birth of the real USD from Ripple nears, Bitstamp puts a XRP moon for a tweet out. Go Bitstamp. Meanwhile, this may be one of the things that helps XRP moon. It's the BRICS Alliance. They have revealed that in 24 alone, around 10 new countries have expressed their interest in joining the BRICS coalition. Going into this right here, and who has? Sergei Ryabkov, Russia's deputy foreign minister, and BRICS Sherpa confirmed that many more countries are looking to join the alliance. That's what we're talking about here. This is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And, I've heard and had conversations over the last couple of years with Molly Elmore. We used to do a week in review show inside the DPMG, which you can join. That opportunity to join that group is open right now. But we used to talk, and she used to say, I think ultimately BRICS will grow and the United States will eventually join BRICS also. And that makes sense to me. It really makes sense to me that BRICS coalition could become the new system that everyone is rolling into. And that really does make a lot of sense to me. And that also makes a lot of sense that you would need a bridge currency like XRP to help with it all. But meanwhile, internally, this is what BRICS are doing. BRICS is looking to dominate the food and crop sector and reduce the US dollar hegemony for trade settlements. Russia recently proposed a plan to allow countries to settle trade in local currencies for grain and seafood. If you can see right here, that's why there's a picture of a fish here. Because it basically is going after billions, $10.4 billion worth of seafood, in fact. And this is going to strengthen using their local currencies and pulling away from the dollar. Again, what you're seeing are these very measured moves to eliminate the use of the US dollar and to cut it out of these individual supply trade lines to begin to reduce the reliance on the US dollar and in turn causing hyperinflation. But again, I think this is a measured plan that has the blessing of the United States. And it makes sense to me that the United States would require, because they are the holder of the world reserve currency, which is their national currency, the US dollar, and it would require to see the rest of the nations, friends and enemies, join the BRICS coalition first, develop their CBDC or stablecoin and their payment platform for their country and region, government and central banks. Then once you're inside of BRICS, they can use the bridge currency and or dollars, whichever people would want or prefer, and we're off to the races. But you can't have the U.S. do it first, because the rest of the countries could decide after all the billions of dollars of effort, market infrastructure, say, nah, we don't want to. And that harms us even more. But if the rest of the world gets on the system, that gives them more independence. It gives them more confidence in their own currencies and dollars. And then we introduce a bridge asset like XRP to help settle and move these things around, along with other cryptos. Reintroduce the US dollar inside of this bridge system, and the United States can join BRICS also, or just service it from the outside. But the reality is such that I see the stage being set for the introduction of a bridge assets and cryptos alike. Iran and Russia further confirmed that on all stages of integration of the national payment system are underway for the BRICS coalition. This is massive. Here's Jim Rickards. Take a listen to what he says about BRICS and what they're doing and how they are copying the Bretton Woods structure. BRICS could be the new Bretton Woods, and I think it may be.
Again, notice what the BRICS are doing. They've copied the World Bank, they've copied the IMF. They're duplicating the Bretton Woods structure on their own. A lot of this goes almost unnoticed, but these are very important initiatives. They're also building a fiber optic undersea telecommunications channel so they can bypass channels like SWIFT and other payments channels controlled by the West. So they're building their whole network financially, structurally, and in terms of physical infrastructure. And this has been going on for a long time. It's not as if the BRICS are making some headlines lately, but it's not as if they just woke up last year and said, oh, let's do something significant in the monetary system. They've been working on this for over 15 years. By the way, we focus on the BRICS Leaders Summit, and that's important. They have over 100 meetings per year. They have subgroups on agriculture, climate change, women's rights, athletics, et cetera. So this is a very well-developed organization with as I say, an expert secretariat that continues to grow.
There you have it right there. Okay, now we know ex-CIA director says the U.S. debt is a national security threat. More countries are looking to join BRICS, and we could ultimately see BRICS have United States join once everybody's on board, and off we go with the XRP as a bridge asset in between it all, and XDC and XLM and other assets as well. Remember, XDC Trade Network completed its first electronic promissory note. Remember when we went back to the SEC versus Ripple in the early days? And I spent a long time asking the question, Could XRP get a designation, a currency designation, as to when something is a note because of the Reeves test? Remember that? You know, I've had a lawyer tell me that I may have just been early in that assumption, and that would be the outcome. That particular outcome may have to go to the Supreme Court to get that kind of an outcome. Because the current court case and the current court level has told us what XRP isn't, but it hasn't told us what it is. And we're going to need to know that before the financial system gets on board and starts moving in this asset class en masse. So, with that being said, this is a huge step forward, but it also shows me that this is why legislation is so important. And thank goodness that it passed the House with the FIT 21 Act with bipartisan support, overwhelming bipartisan support, which means we shouldn't have an issue getting it passed in the Senate and then having whichever president sign it into law. This could solve this problem. It could eliminate the need for Ripple to go all the way to get a designation of what XRP actually is from the Supreme Court, if Congress would just simply do its job. Here's more evidence showing just how XDC and other assets, and this is indicative to show, obviously, of how other assets can serve as well, but this is XDC they're showing here. There's real progress here, and you can see the real applications of how XDC and this digital asset and others can be used in cross-border and supply trade. The world is about to change, but it is going to require getting that logjam open, which is going to mean legislative clarity. Meanwhile, new technologies such as distributed ledger technology and cryptocurrencies can help start broader adoption of the SDR. We have covered this for years as well. The idea that the IMF and World Bank are considering how they could expand the role for more adoption of the SDR itself, the simple drawing right, which is issued from the IMF to countries, not people, but countries. So this has always been entertained that XRP could eventually become an electronic SDR, and it certainly could happen. It all depends on which way they feel is the best advantage for them to go for this, right? So we don't know 100%, but nevertheless, this has been the conversation. Something will need to sit in between it all. The SDR never really got off the ground the way they really wanted it at the IMF, but in large part, that was because, they tried to launch that from just lending from a country aspect. Now, when the country that borrows SDRs wants to turn that SDR in for cash so they can use it for their country's needs, they have to exchange it for one of the 5 currencies that are in the basket that make up the balance of the SDR. So just a little something for that so you know what's going on there. Now, with that being said, let's remind everybody here with Monica Long, the president at Ripple, just how important the Ripple stablecoin is as a complement with XRP, and how XRP will take care of the long tail of trades, meaning it will be able to make trades that you could never make before in history. But there's no need for XRP to be used in a highly liquid market like dollar to dollar or euro to euro or dollar to euro. Those markets are highly liquid and they don't need a new currency to settle them. However, if you can begin to connect the long tail of trades and better settlement trades using XRP, once this system begins to onboard massive opportunities for trading pairs, tokenized trading pairs. This is when you'll see the back-end long tail effect where XRP can make a transaction, save money in split second better than the dollar, better than the euro, or the Chinese yuan, or what other currency you want to see it. That's when we're going to start really seeing the benefit. So let's take a quick listen to this.
What sort of things can stablecoins do that XRP can't, and vice versa?
It's a great question. We think of them as complementary and additive. So in the context of payments and that part of our business, there are plenty of use cases where for the customer, actually seeing the transaction through in US dollars is what the customer wants, or it's just the most cost efficient option. And when you think about major corridors like US dollar, euro, there's a lot of liquidity there. You don't really need a bridge asset like XRP. And that was the inventors of the ledger, the way that they'd always talked about. And, when I think back to the very early days of Ripple, what we had always talked about was the use case for a neutral cryptocurrency as a bridge asset. So like XRP in this case would be, for in the future of the Internet of Value, there's be all kinds of things tokenized on chain. And you need an asset like that for really efficient cross-currency or cross-token settlement it's more the long tail. Let me simplify it. It's more the long tail of assets and currencies where the costs, when you think in the context of cross-border payments, you have different currency crosses between, a sub-Saharan African country and the Middle East or Europe. And the liquidity is not as great. The costs are very high. You could pay, north of 10% on that in fees for a payment like that.
We don't want to see that either, right? We want to fix all of that. And I think they're going to. Again, just coming back to this, legislative clarity will kick open the innovation race, which will in turn create the reserve currency stablecoin race. Don't believe it. It's still true. Look, even when the United States was picked over the British pound, the sterling pound, to become the world reserve currency, there was still a great period of several years where other currencies were competing as a reserve currency, but it was the US dollar that won out. That is the moment I believe we're going into again. And there can be more than one reserve currency. We've heard David Schwartz even tell us about it. So, this is a remarkable moment that we're about to move into. I just wish we all knew when they were going to launch this new stablecoin on XRP Ledger and Ethereum, because I can't wait. You can follow us, digperspectives.com, click the Freedom Zone and come on in, or you could join the DPMG. Look, we got lots of groups and courses and lessons in there and an amazing community with incredible, brilliant minds. And let me tell you something right now, if you're interested in XRP Ledger, automated market makers, learning how to do that, we are taking apart the different opportunities that exist currently right now so you can understand how to do that for yourself as safe as possible. That's what we're doing. Join us, digperspectives.com, click the Freedom Zone or the DPMG. And if you join the DPMG, you get the Freedom Zone for free. I'll catch all of you on the next one.